Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the very first episode of Southern Brews and Booze. I'm your host, Isaiah, and welcome to the show. So, what we're going to do today, and just to kick things off and get things out of the way, is that I am from the South, and I like to partake in craft beer, whiskeys, rums, bourbons, those types of things, those spirits. And the name kind of encompasses all that. Brews being craft beer and alcoholic drinks, and booze. Booze, when I say that, what I'm referring to is tales of legend, folklore, paranormal, those type of things. Now, this is my favorite time of year. That's why I'm kicking this off this way. I actually have a podcast, so if you guys want to go and check me out, go ahead and do that. You can find me at anchor.fm at the Southern Spectre, or you can go check me out on Spotify, the Southern Spectre Podcast. That's the name of the show, and I've got about 6 or 7 episodes up, so if you guys want to head on over there, that's all I talk about. We talk about strange tales, legends, paranormal, anything from Bigfoot to boo hags. There you go. We'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to shoot me an email, I'll leave that down in the show notes below, so that way, if you guys want to tell me or anything like that, I'll share it here on the show. I'll share it on the podcast. So there you go. But to kick things off on our very first show, what we got here is we have an American Stout brewed by Pawley's Island Brewing Company, and it's called the Gray Man Stout. Let me see if I can get you a shot of that right there. Okay. The Gray Man Stout, and what it says on the back. Let's see here. I love their little tagline here. It says hashtag like beer, love people. South Carolina, like beer, love people. So what it says is, as the Gray Man watches for incoming storms on Pawley's Island, he likes to drink a beer as bold as he is. This full-bodied American Stout has a ghostly hop aroma that is overpowered by bold roasted malt and bitter chocolate. Bitter chocolate. Dark chocolate and hints of sweet caramel dominate the flavor, with a bitter malt finish that's as captivating as the legend himself. Okay, for those of you not familiar with the legend of the Gray Man, I actually had done an episode on my podcast about the Gray Man of Pawley's Island. Now, the story goes that there's several different variations of this, so please forgive me. Some say he was from, he was a soldier in the army, and that he actually was on his way to Pawley's Island, that he was traveling to reach his fiancée. And sometime, whether he took a shortcut or whether something spooked his horse that he was riding way back when, that he actually perished in some quicksand. It was like mud. And so he perished into some quicksand, and unfortunately he met his demise there. So the legend goes that his fiancée had heard the news, and she took to the beach there on Pawley's Island, right off the coast of South Carolina. And she took to the coast there to mourn for her beloved and her loss. And so what ended up happening was, as she was out there, a few days later, I guess, there was a storm coming off, but back then, they didn't have all the fancy technology that they do today. So what they did, she actually happened to be walking up and down the beach, and she actually seen a gentleman standing there, and he was dressed all in gray. And he turned to look at her, and when he did, she realized, hey, this is my fiance, this is my lost love. And so when it ended up happening, he warned her, told her, and tell her family, hey, y'all got to get out of Dodge. There's a bad storm coming, and it's not going to be good for you guys if you stick around. So immediately she told her family, and back then, folks of that age were very superstitious. She told her people, she told her family, and they immediately packed up all their belongings and, traveled inland. And sure enough, a storm come along and demolished a lot of things, mostly houses and things of that nature. So when her family actually came back to the island, everything was pretty much destroyed, except for their home. So legend goes that if you happen to see the gray man, take it as a warning and leave. Some say that if you do, that he will help spare your home. Now, there have been 5 major hurricanes that have hit at the coast at Pawley's Island. And legend says that he has been seen before each and every single one. So, pretty cool stuff right there. That's the type of stuff we'll be talking about here. So, like I said, I've got this Gray Man American Stout brewed by Pawley's Island Brewing Company right here in fabulous South Carolina. And we are going to actually test this bad boy out, and we're going to see what she's all about. So, but that's what we'll be doing here. I'm going to be drinking, and I'm going to be telling you a story. So that's what we're doing here. So I know I did not fill it up. Like about a 2-finger head on it, and it's tan, got a tan head on, almost like a copper, and it is black. It is black. There you go. She's pretty. I'll tell you that much. And immediately I'm getting a lot of hops smell off of it. I do smell dark chocolate. Lots of chocolate. Loads of chocolate. But anyway, let's take a sip. It's pretty good. The head dissipates really quickly. But it is very good, and no doubt about it, the can on the back actually said, that it does have some bitterness there of that dark chocolate right there on the end. A flavor of bitter malt finish that's as captivating as the legend himself. And no doubt that is to be the case. And yeah, it does have a little bit of a bitter finish, which I'm okay with. I'm not an overly hoppy guy, but we're gonna test some waters. How about that? That's good. That's good stuff. And it's licking the sides of the glass, pretty good, which I've always been told that's a pretty good indicator of how, obviously of how thick the viscosity of it. And, I guess I don't really know how to describe what I'm trying to tell you, but it has something to do with the way it's brewed or whatnot. Let's see here. But anyway, it's got a scale here. It has a 3 out of 5 bitterness, 2 out of 5 hops, 4 out of 5 malt, and a 4 out of 5 body. So, but I'll be honest with you, I have had some much darker beers. I know it's hard to say, well, how can you get much darker than that right there? And I completely agree with you. But this is good. This is good. Like I said, I don't like anything with too much hops in it, but this is fairly good because I find myself I'm more partial to stouts. But this is pretty good, and I've enjoyed this so far. I don't have it freezing cold or anything like that. I have heard, and I know you guys who do this all the time, please don't hassle me too hard. Be gentle. But I have heard that, especially with stouts, they lean toward more to the side of a dessert beer or something like that, and especially those beers with lactose and things of that nature in it, and you get a bunch of complex flavors that go into the beer. That if you actually cool it down and then allow it to warm up, and they say the flavor changes as the temperature changes, and of course I can definitely see that. So very good stuff. I like that. This was actually my very first beer by Pawley's Island Brewing Company. I'll be honest with you, completely 100%. Didn't even know there was one. That's how little in the game I'm actually am. So, but anyway, it's a good beer. If you happen to come across this, check it out. I like it, and guys, I hope if you like what you saw, any comments, recommendations, whatever, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you like what you saw, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll be back every other week to do a little portion like this. I hope you guys enjoy it, and take care.